The Tiger football team put on a great show for a sellout crowd on homecoming. Mizzou rolled to an easy victory over Iowa State this afternoon. The Tigers bouncing back after losing 2 in a row. First possession of the game, 8 plays, all of them rushes. James Franklin finishes with a 1-yard sneak. 7-0 Missouri. Next time the Tigers touch the ball, give it to Henry Josie. He'll cap the drive with a 1-yard touchdown, 14-0. Franklin, a nice day through the air, hits Michael Agnew, and he is going to take it all the way 39 yards. It's 21-3 at the end of the first quarter. More Tigers in the second. Kendall Lawrence takes the handoff. He jogs in 28-3. Franklin accounted for 5 touchdowns for Missouri. He also accounted for one of Iowa State's, though. A.J. Klein, the interception, goes 78 yards. It was 31-10, though, Mizzou at the half, and they just kept it rolling in the second half. Franklin this time hitting T.J. Moe, make it 38-10. Truman like that. Another touchdown run for Franklin here later in the third made it 45-10 Missouri. The defense playing well also. Brad Madison tips this one up. The interception down to the 6-yard line. That would lead to another Franklin touchdown pass. This one to Wes Kemp. All Mizzou today, 52-17 the final. Rod Smith has more from Faroe.
Mizzou putting up some big numbers on their 100th homecoming. The Tigers hitting the century mark in rushing from Henry Josie, over 100 yards. Michael Agnew over 100 yards receiving. In total, almost 600 yards of total offense against an Iowa State team that ranks near the bottom in defense in the NCAA. Meanwhile, 0 penalties for Missouri, all adding up to a 52-17 win.
We needed this bad. This was a big game for us, bigger than any game, because we had to get back on track. And our confidence going out to today, our focus was real key, and we just took over today.
It feels good to get a win, man, and be back in the winner's circle. Iowa State was a good team. We were hungry, man, this week, hungry for a win, and I'm glad we got it done today.
100th homecoming is a pretty big deal, so and it's always important to win at home. So glad we got that done.
It's awesome, you know. Anytime you can come into a stadium like this with a crowd and homecoming, it's very exciting. You get a W behind 70,000 people is really fun.
It's just one football game. I mean, it's you learn, you grow from it. I just know our football team is, you know, if we're very focused, we can be pretty good, and if we're not focused, we can look very average.
One other Tiger note: Terrell Rosano, the defensive lineman, did not play in the second half after suffering a sprained knee. Tigers even up on the year at 3-3, ending a 2-game losing skid. They've also now won 10 straight here at home. That will be tough to continue next week when Oklahoma State comes here to Faroe Field, one of 4 straight games against ranked opponents. For now, the Tigers can celebrate a 52-17 win over Iowa State. With the Tigers in Columbia, Rod Smith, KRCG Sports.
All right, thanks a lot, Rod. For more, go to Leffler's link at connectmidmissouri.com. Veteran sports writer Tom Leffler has all the news from today's Missouri victory. As Rod mentioned, the Tigers face a stiff challenge next week when 6th-ranked Oklahoma State comes to Columbia. Cowboys still unbeaten after beating up on Texas today. 4th down and 1 from the 30-yard line. Jeremy Smith, he'll take care of that 30 yards for OSU. 21-10 at the half. Cowboys kick off the second half by taking the kickoff back. 105 yards, Justin Gilbert to the end zone. OSU rolls 38-26. over the Longhorns. A&M beats Baylor this afternoon. Kansas State goes to 6-0 after beating Texas Tech. Oklahoma and Kansas are at the half. The Sooners lead that one. Lincoln loses big again. Missouri S&T beats Kentucky Wesleyan. Westminster falls on the road. It was Central Methodist 14 better than Graceland. More sports coming up. We'll have state quarterfinal highlights from high school softball and another homecoming football game. This one at Helias. The Crusaders rolling. We'll bring you those highlights after the break. Welcome back. The Helias Crusaders fell out of the state football poll this week after dropping to 3-4, but you can pretty much wipe the slate clean. District play begins this weekend. The next 3 games will determine who makes the state playoffs. And if tonight's any indication, Helias will be in. The Crusaders celebrating homecoming, hosting Warrensburg at Adkins Stadium. This was all Helias. First possession of the game, pitch it to Brendan Roberts. He turns the corner and goes 16 yards. 7-0 Crusaders, and the crowd like that. Next possession, the quarterback Cole Dissler on the keeper. He will get in from 6 yards out, 14-zip, the homecoming court. And Queen Angie Lorang like that. Still in the first, Disler to the air to Anthony Woodruff. First of 3 first-half touchdowns for Woodruff, 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. More Elias in the second. Justice Schulte, his first carry of the season, takes it in from 8 yards out. Elias scored touchdowns on its first 8 possessions of the game. Crusaders win it big, 56-0. They are 1-0 in district play. State quarterfinal day for high school softball. 5 mid-Missouri teams had a shot to reach the Final Four today, including the Jefferson City Lady Jays. They made the long road trip to Webb City to face the Lady Cardinals. Webb City getting this RBI from Lexi Gardner, led 3-0 at one point in this game. JC gets on the board on this Jordan Moore single. That brings in Marche Pendleton. Wouldn't be enough though. Webb City wins it 4-1. The Lady Jays season comes to an end. Class 1 quarterfinal softball in St. Elizabeth. The Hornets hosting Naylor, looking for their first Final Four since 2002. This was all St. E today. Emma Kemna hits this one over the head of the center fielder. Brought in a run, 4-0 after 2. St. E adds another in the third. Michaela Otto triples down the left field line. That made it 5-zip. 3 more runs then in the fourth. Aaron Strump, the pitcher, drives in 2 with that base hit. Strump also had 15 strikeouts, including that one, the final out. St. Elizabeth rolls 12-1 on to the Final Four in Class 1. And Harrisburg is in the Final Four as well in Class 1. The Lady Bulldogs beat Bevier today. They move on. In Class 3, Centralia, a winner. The Lady Panthers will play in the Final Four after beating St. Charles West today. Class 2 quarters, Fatima season comes to an end, losing to Palmyra. And high school girls tennis, the Rockbridge Lady Bruins winning twice today. They are headed to the Final Four next weekend. Carl Edwards had a shot at a Charlotte sweep tonight. The Columbia native rallied to win the NASCAR Nationwide Series race at Charlotte last night. Edwards starting third in the Sprint Cup Series race, Bank of America 500 tonight. Edwards went into the night as the championship chase leader, 1 point ahead of Kevin Harvick. Carl led 1 lap in this race, spent most of the night in the top 5. He was in the hunt. His teammate, Matt Kenseth, takes the lead over from Kyle Busch, 25 laps to go. And look what happens just a few laps later. Jimmy Johnson, the 5-time defending champion, spins out, hits the wall hard. That would end his night, his championship hopes in serious jeopardy now. Kenseth would go on to get the victory, his third of the season. Kyle Busch second. Carl takes third. He extends his lead with 5 races left in the chase. Some other scores from today. High school boys soccer. The Jays fall at home to Chaminade. Fulton beats Elias 2-1. Mizzou volleyball wins in 4 over Texas Tech. ALCS baseball, go ahead and put the Rangers in the World Series. Texas 15-5 over the Detroit Tigers in the 8th inning. Max Scherzer, the former Mizzou ace, started for the Tigers, knocked out in the 3rd inning. Texas scored 9 in that frame. The Rangers closing in on a 2nd straight American League championship. Meanwhile, the fairy tale ride continues for the Cardinals, who are just 1 win away from claiming the franchise's 18th National League pennant. The Redbirds drilled the Brewers 7-1 last night. St. Louis taking advantage of 4 Milwaukee errors. They now lead the NLCS 3-2. They'll resume the series tomorrow in Milwaukee. A win would put the Cards in the series for the first time since 2006.
I'm just confident we're going to take our best shot. And they are too, and it's going to be a great competition, and nobody has a crystal ball. But as long as we take our best shot, like I said, we win, happiness, they beat us Tippecanoe.
Edwin Jackson, the pitcher for the Cardinals, in Game 6 tomorrow. No Chiefs football tomorrow. They have a bye. The Rams play at Green Bay. That will be a very big challenge.
I hope the Cardinals make it, but the Texas Rangers look mean.
They are awfully, awfully good, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Tony. We'll be right back.